Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic readings, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living of Columbia and Greater Baltimore. This is a pre recorded offering for June 3rd. Um, I'm on vacation, but I wanted to continue this practice and to make this available. So while we won't be able to share perspectives immediately, I certainly welcome and encourage you to share your perspective of the reading in the chat. And so this morning, what I'm reading from is Dare to Be Yourself by Alan Cohen. And it's the paragraph in the middle of page 272, which reads, "The first step in reprogramming a limiting belief is to become aware that you are holding it. It is not our conscious beliefs that hurt us. When we see something consciously, we can choose whether or not we want to continue the action or attitude. It is the majority of the iceberg of consciousness that lies beneath the surface of our awareness that is the crucial factor in whether our ship will stay afloat or sink. Observing results as a mirror of intention is the psychic sonar that allows us to become aware of the thoughts that we are creating our world from the factory beneath the surface of our usual vision." And I love that. And I personally have found that to be absolutely accurate. That this journey, this spiritual journey of humanity, is the great excavation, if you will. That there's a preciousness, there's a unique, divine, spiritual us hidden below the surface. And there's layers of conditioned thinking that limit our experience of our authentic self. And so we excavate those one at a time. But if we're unwilling to become aware and take ownership of the beliefs that are operating under the surface, we can't excavate them because we're not equipped. We don't know what tools we need to excavate those. And so I invite you to give yourself permission to know all of the thoughts that are running you that are outside of your awareness. And as Alan Cohen points out in the reading, the reflection of the events and circumstances and situations in our life is a perfect mirror for what is operating in our hidden beliefs. And there's a reason they're called hidden, because we're unaware of them. And becoming open to be aware of them is the trick. Because if you're really open, you will become aware. And so perhaps the greatest way to open the door to that awareness is simply to ask the question, what was I thinking? And then answer it. But answer it from the deepest part of you. To be still long enough to hear the depth of your being answer the question. Because it knows you are infinite intelligence in form. Everything you could possibly need to know, you already know. We just have to be willing to ask the question and then actually answer it. So I'm going to read it through one more time and take us into our time of meditation. And I encourage you to just be in the question. what's operating below the surface. The first step to reprogramming a limiting belief is to become aware that you are holding it. It is not our conscious beliefs that hurt us. When we see something consciously, we can choose whether or not we want to continue the action or attitude. It is the majority of the iceberg of unconsciousness that lies beneath the surface of our awareness that is the crucial factor in whether our ship will stay afloat or sink. Observing results as a mirror of intention is the psychic sonar that allows us to become aware of the thoughts that are creating our world from the factory beneath the surface of our usual vision. recognize there is only one substance, one source, one creation, one invisible something that is simultaneously no thing and everything. Infinite possibility, expressing in form, surrounding the form, infusing it, the form with itself, because it is the substance that is expressing as form, and all that surrounds form, the visible and the invisible, the formed and the unformed, known by many, many names: Spirit, God, Buddha, Allah, the great mystery, the great spirit, the universe, the infinite, the divine, the beloved. By whatever name we call it to reference it, it is never limited by our human understanding of that label. It is beyond limitation. And so I know that I am that in form. That this one changeless substance, and changeless because it has nothing to change into, it already is everything, expresses an exquisitely individualized, intentional, purposeful, one-of-a-kind expressions of itself, never to be repeated. I am that. And what is true of me is true of every human, every animal, every mineral, every vegetable, every gas, every element of expression is this one. All of equal value, each of equal significance, each equally intentional and purposeful. And so I recognize that no two expressions of this one thing can ever truly be against itself. That there is no secondary power. That the very idea of divisiveness is made up and operates beneath the surface of awareness so effectively as to present itself as reality that it never is. And so I claim and affirm an awareness within humanity of the magnificence of its being, an awareness within the whole of humanity of its inseparable connectedness in one, that one cannot be divided. I claim and affirm that as this awareness moves from below the waterline to the visible, tangible, accessible areas of that metaphorical iceberg, that everything unlike it melts away. And this intrinsic unification that simply is the truth of being becomes the way of being in, through, and as humanity. That each expression of humanity sees through the eyes of awareness that there is no separation, that there is an awareness that to love is to love the whole. To respect is to respect the whole. To engage is to engage the whole of life. that there is an awakening that nothing external can increase or diminish the value of any expression of life. And that awareness is lived into and expressed as equity, as celebration of every diverse expression of creation. That there is a grasping and a celebration that diversity is the image and likeness of creation. And every expression matters and is deserving of celebration. And I am grateful. I am grateful that the word spoken is the word responded to affirmatively. That yes is the only response the activity of law knows. And so it has already responded yes, even as I have spoken this word, it has already said yes and made it so. So I can let go. I can let go of any false ideas that are operating below that waterline that tell me the human me has to make something happen. And as I release that, I am led to participating in the unfolding of life's perfection. I let go of control. I let go of the narrative of separation. And I stand in the faith in the mystery of things not seen, knowing that it already is, so that I will see. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.